But there's expense with that involved, so we only do that in drastic measures, and we're running to that a lot more with the foreclosure or vacant properties, so we have had to do that on occasion. But there are some people in this town that I will flat out tell you that they will mow it, but they will tell you they do not believe in putting weed control down. They flat out do not want chemicals on their lawn, and we have no right to make them do that. But Jim, I'll let you add to that.
I would agree with all the statements that you made. And one of the primary considerations is that these relationships with private contractors, if groups of individuals want to enter into those, it would be a better mechanism for a homeowners association or just a group of neighbors or something like that, for the village to get in a position where they're promoting business for a specific vendor or trying to get rates for certain homeowners. It's just not the kind of business the village ought to be involved in. But certainly, it's the kind of thing that the homeowners could take upon themselves to band together and negotiate a better price for volume. Not only that kind of thing, but replacing driveways and other kinds of contracting things. Those are the kinds of things best left to the individuals to, if they want to try and get economies of scale by getting more than one at a time, they can work together to do that.
In fact, we did that with our fencing on our block. When we first built our house, we had a group of us neighbors that went to different fencing contractors and said, if you do all our fences at the same time. So that's one way to do it.
Being a trustee and trying to get, I perceive trying to get this going, would that kind of, how would you say it, being a trustee, would that be a conflict of interest or anything?
No, it's not a conflict of interest as long as you let the people involved know that you're doing that as a resident, not as a trustee.
I have a question. George and I were doing weed control at Deer Point and noticed that the back of the State Farm property is a mess. Has he been notified that he needs
Yes,
to
as a
do
matter of
something?
fact, I just talked to him yesterday afternoon. He will get his guys out this week and
We've been chasing him.
chop and weed. I also told him to make sure they hand cut all the way to the fences in the back and take it all down.
Take it all out.
He will do
Yeah,
that.
because we had to chase him for cutting the last time.
Yeah, I chased him again, so
Okay.
he promised me
And
this week to
we,
get
and
it
we
done.
still need to deal with the Deer Point people on 134 and the bank, for all that vacant property along 134 needs weeding too.
Oh, Scott Long's former property.
And,
Yeah, okay.
and
That's on-
Tranis.
On the south side, I thought they mowed some on the north side.
I cut the south side. No, I
South side, the one.
I did the east side.
All right, when I'm back in the office, I'll go over that with you, Jeff. And we'll contact the bank and see where they're going with that property. Okay. Where are we at?
Motion to adjourn?
Public Works.
No, we're staff.
On the same subject, we have been doing quite a bit of field mowing throughout the areas. We did do the east side of Cranberry Lake. I did try to do as much as I could on the west side of the Cranberry Lake drive down towards the well house, where all those gigantic, ugly thistle or whatever you call those things are. We just can't get in there, but we're giving it a good valiant effort. We also today just finished up the entire fence line along Washington Street. We cut all the trees down that were growing up against the fence. They've been herbicided, so they're all, hopefully nothing's going to come back. So that actually got completed. It was 2 days taking care of that. Last storm we fared out much better than we did the one we had a few weeks ago. We just had a little bit of street flooding, which has been rectified. So we're moving forward and we're ready for the next one. That's all I got. Thanks.
Okay, wetlands and open, excuse me, I'm skipping. Attorney.
Thank you. We developed the ordinance that will be considered on the agenda tonight that authorizes the village to borrow funds from the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency for extension of the Route 120 water main. In addition, we've been working with property owners on Route 120 to develop easements across their property for the purpose of water main extension, and then also working on some issues with CENTCOM.
Village Engineer Greg Mullen.
Thank you, Mayor. We completed the bid package for the crack filling program that was initiated last year. That will include the subdivisions of Union Square, Deer Point, and also the Fair Lawn and Pineview areas. As part of expending MFT funds, there's a resolution that has to be passed, and that's on the agenda later today for $50,000. We anticipate having the bids available for the September board meeting. The bids are actually going to be due on August 30th. As the attorney alluded to the IEPA loan program, we're currently out to bid for that Route 120 water main extension and the North Street water main extension. Those bids are due on September 15th.
Okay, thank you. All right, now we'll move on to standing committees. Trustee Daly, I think you said you covered everything? Perfect. We'll move on to Public Works. Trustee Walkington?
I spoke to Jeff and Greg and I about maybe getting bids to seal the parking lot and the driveway here before they repaint the stripes and stuff. So.
Oh, okay.
Seems like they're probably
Checking with that, see what that costs.
Okay, that's, I think
Won't
that's
do much
good.
good to paint it and then seal it, paint and seal, so.
Sounds
So
good.
we're checking into that. That's
Okay.
one thing we got going right now.
Okay.
That I have.
Question, are we going to blacktop the two expecting lots here?
Yeah,
This season, next season, sometime?
it would probably be best to leave it gravel over the winter time so we get the trees
Settle.
off, so it'll settle a little bit,
Okay.
and then maybe next year, get in there and do that.
Okay. Okay, we're going to move on to public safety. Trustee Barrett is not present tonight, nor did I get a message or report from him, nor did the clerk. But I am going to make some statements on public safety. I had an inquiry recently, and I have been concerned about this some time. I have the agenda and the minutes from the April 26th board meeting earlier this year, because at that meeting, Jim Rock and I made it very clear and covered what's stated in our code regarding our standing committees, and public safety is one of them, and how often they're supposed to meet and other protocol. There have not been any public safety meetings this year. None have been set, nor has our new trustee that came onto the board assigned to the Public Safety Committee been really acknowledged for any meeting in any way. And I must say I'm disappointed, and they've been trying to handle this or address this behind the scenes, but feel that it has to be brought out in a public forum. The inquiry was in regard to our minutes and agenda on our website, which Kathy gave a report on. If you go to the website, there's no minutes for public safety beyond 2009. The meeting dates that were scheduled for 09 or 10, or 010, I mean, yeah, 2010, wound up being canceled and removed at my order and by the clerk, because the meeting dates would come that were posted and nobody would show up. And there was no proper notice of cancellation given. So I am concerned because ultimately, Public Safety Committee is to review and research future needs and or changes in public safety issues. It is not a police commission. It is not a patrol position. That is left to other agencies. However, there was a task that was brought up assigned to the Public Safety Committee to research and get fold-down stop signs for our traffic lights, which would have come in very handy during the recent power outages, particularly on the west end of town. Also, Mike Benko brought up the school and back-to-school time. In years past, Public Safety Committee always made an effort to secure and post the slow down and watch your speed signs on the speed limit signs to our town when it was school bus time. So at this time, I am going to appoint Walter Crease, the chair of public safety, which was discussed about taking place at some time if public safety meetings could not be planned and held. And I would like to give Trustee Crease your first assignment to track down those signs. I know in the past some of the insurance agencies used to provide them. Allstate, we have State Farm, Brian Boodle right in town, so I would approach him first and see if we can secure that.
The school signs?
Yeah, there's signs that say watch your speed, school
Right.
starting or something like that, and you post them right underneath the speed limit sign on the roads, near where the bus stops are. And we always get a map of the bus stops sent over to us, so we can make that contact with the school district and get that sent over to you. But
I have a resource for those signs.
Do you? Okay.
Through when Hainesville had the police department. In fact, let me check my emails because I may have a link on there where we can order.
Okay. But if we could
I'll
get
check
it
that
donated
before
from
I
State
leave.
Farm, I think we should do that too.
Yeah, I think they're all free,
Okay.
regardless of where you go. I
Regardless of where
think
you
they're
go,
through AAA. You know,
Oh,
the
perfect.
schools open, watch
Yeah.
for kids, slow down.
Right, slow down, watch your speed.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but I'll check on that tonight before I leave.
Okay.
When does school start back up then?
Well, high school starts next week, and then the middle school starts on a Wednesday. They have a half day. August 24th, Prairie View, and will be in session on 120. They have a half day the 24th, that's a Wednesday, full day the 25th and 26th, and so on. But the high school goes back. My son's on high school. I don't know if it's the midweek, do you know, Kelly?
For Grace Lake North, it's next Wednesday.
So it would be the same percentage. 17th, okay. 17th for the high school. Half days too with their first day.
Do we know anything about online?
Round Lake, I think, starts the same time usually. We will find out. I mean, it's got to be on their website, so we'll check the website when we leave. I haven't gotten any notice from Round Lake, emails. I mean, usually they send me an email, but I haven't gotten anything from Round Lake recently. Yeah, well, they hit me up for everything else.
Which list?
It's the other list.
Am I on the naughty or nice list? Okay, so we will move forward on public safety. Wetlands and open spaces, Trustee Duberstein.
Well, I'm going to wear several hats tonight. First of all, the Great Age Club had Michael Carbone come and speak to us. He's a financial and real estate consultant, and he spoke to us about how to appeal your unappealing real estate taxes, property taxes, and the meeting was videotaped, and it is on YouTube, so for those who don't attend meetings, if you want information about that, check out our YouTube. The garage sale was a huge success. We had ultimately 85 families, and 30 of them donated their leftovers to the Salvation Army. I want to thank Roseanne for putting the ads in the paper and running off the maps and the addresses, and Jeff